Right. Ricky, so you're from which monument company?
Well, I'm from Kelley Monument. We're located in Champaign, Illinois, in the United States of America.
Okay. And you've been using MonuDesk for how long now?
I'd say I've been using it for about a month. A month and a half. The first month I was really getting to know the system, and then the second month, we integrated it into our program.
Cool. And so I think you mentioned your entire team uses this app, right?
Yeah, we have all three of our members that organize our headstones are using it. And it just really helps getting everyone on the same page. That was the problem we were having before we started using it. So now it's really helped it.
Okay. And so before MonuDesk, like how did you, were you just like pen and paper organized, or did you have a whiteboard, Excel, other program?
Yeah, well, it was pen and paper. We had file cabinets. We would fax things back and forth, which is very inefficient and annoying. To schedule our monuments out, we would use a whiteboard, and we basically just have a giant whiteboard in our office with every single thing written out, with every single cemetery where every single stone's going to. And we do a lot of stones, so it was pretty inefficient. And we have two separate locations, and they're both 45 minutes apart, So in order to communicate, we would have to call each other, and we'd call each other like 3 or 4 times a day. With this system, we can just look at, like, I have it pulled up on my computer right now on a second monitor, and I'm always able to look at it. So it's just it's maximizing our efficiency.
Cool, glad to hear. And so you had to call the other location like 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, it's like, hey, is this stone in? When do we plan on installing it? Just stuff like that.
And you're saying because of MonuDesk that's not happening anymore?
Well, now we're able to see, if the stone is in, which is huge, because we get people asking all the time, like I'm sure everyone else does, if our stones are in. And because we're in 2 separate facilities, I can't just walk outside and see the stones in.
Yeah. So let's rewind back a bit. So
yep.
What other things were you encountering that the person who's watching may be familiar with? I don't know. Is it possible that you perhaps even lost an order because of the way how it was organized? Or did you have the feeling you were kind of slow because of the communication, it wasn't so streamlined? What were like the symptoms of, old system?
Now we still do this, but we would triple and quadruple check if we, 1, have an order for the stone, 2, if the stone was ordered, and 3, when it gets in. So we would basically have 4 sheets of paper, and we would double check every single stone, and then we would go into our filing cabinet and double check every single file with the list that we had. So we never lost a stone. It's more, we're saving hours of just organization, if that makes sense.
Hours every month, every week, or every day?
I'd say we definitely did it once a month. So it wasn't like we were doing it every week, because we had a good idea of what we had. But we definitely would double check at least once a month just to make sure everything was aligned. Because if you order a stone and you don't let's say you have an order placed by a customer and you don't order the stone and you forget about it, which we all do, we're human, and a month goes by, well, now you're a month behind on the stone, and that makes a huge difference. It really does, especially if you're ordering from overseas.
Yeah, 100%. From my perspective, you double check always when you're kind of unsure. And so would you say you got more confident in the way how you produce and how you serve the customer?
Well, it wasn't a matter of lack of confidence. It was more of a matter of, we don't want to run into a situation that we can't manage, right? So we still double check, even with this machine. I'm probably going to do it at the end of the week, just double check all of our orders that we have. But it's definitely a lot nicer, because now I can always just say everything's right there. All 3 of us are on the same page. If we have one come in, our guy can check it off instantly, and then I can see it that same day. It makes it a lot more streamlined and efficient.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. And when we first reached out to you about MonuDesk, I mean, and again, how many years have you been running the system like beforehand?
Since the year 2000, we've been in business for about 25 years doing headstones. So not
I
the
mean,
longest, but we've been doing it for quite a while.
okay, and like switching to a digital, like to the digital side, I mean, that's a huge change. So
It
what kind
is.
of
And
you were probably a bit concerned, right, when you heard about, should we do it this way? Should we try it? Like what went through your head when you
well,
saw
that was one of my biggest concerns on doing something like this, is because we have people that are working for us. You know, I'm the son of the business owner, so my dad was the guy who started it, and he
this?
was the one who implemented the paper trail that we were using. And then Jeff, our plant manager, was also using it from day one. And getting them on board was super easy. It was easier than I thought it would be, but having them pay attention to it was what I was worried about. And you know, it seems to be working pretty well. But you know, the expression, we have an expression, is it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks. And I was a little worried because, you know, nothing against them, but we're in a different age, and I was wondering if they were going to be able to adjust to it. And it seems like they have been. It's a pretty easy system, pretty straightforward, and as long as you're paying attention to it, it's not hard at all. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that is quite important, right? If only you have the tool. No, I mean if everyone has the tool but only you are using it, then like
That was the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does your work day look like now? I mean, yes, you don't, like you mentioned, you call the other location a bit less because now you have everything on your screen. But I mean, like when somebody calls, do you pick up the phone or someone else when somebody calls?
Usually I'll answer. If I'm in the office, I'll answer the phone and talk to them. Yeah.
So how does it look like now when somebody calls you and you have the system, like to find the order?
Yeah. I'll pull it up on the MonuDesk, and then you're able to attach documents to it. So I can attach the proof to the stone onto it. I'm able to upload signed proofs. So the way we do it is, you know, we have a design, and then the family approves it, saying this is the sandblasted, the final design that we want on there. So if I'll pull that up, I'll see, well, one is the proof signed off on, and it is. Then I'll see where's it at in the process. If we have the stone, it'll be on there, and I'll tell them we have the stone and we're planning to install it. If we don't have it, you know, on there, I'll be like, well, let me double check with the shipper and see where it's at in the process. So
how long does it take to find an order?
how long does it take? Well, like a matter of seconds, really. You have a nice big search bar where you can type in the last name of the stone. I usually organize it by the last name of the stone that's on the stone. That way you can bring it right up. So yeah, it takes seconds. You know, there's features in there where you could search it instantly.
Cool. What else do you like about the app? I mean, there are many other things.
Well, you know, it's easy to use. I like the fact that it is constantly getting updated. It's constantly having new features added to it, quality of life improvements for the app. But two, I like that all the information is just right there, you know, and everything is in a central location where I don't have to search for it or, you know, spend 20 minutes tracking something down when it's just right on my computer screen. That's the biggest thing, is just the ease of which I can use it and the quality of life improvement.
Yeah. Well, definitely, yeah. Now, what would you tell a person? Let's say you have a friend who's been, you know, in his ways and in organizing his business. He's also in the monument business. What would you tell him if you were chatting with him and he's thinking, oh man, should I try this? I'm not quite sure. What would you tell him?
I would show them what it is. And I think that's probably the best way to sell someone on it, because once you see what it is, it's pretty easy, and I mean, you're going to want to use it. There's only a couple different ways you can do this. And the fact that it's on your computer and that you can exchange information quickly between, especially for us, because we have multiple facilities, you can exchange information instantaneously. you can't. It's hard to beat that kind of value. So I that's what I would recommend. Is I definitely, if I had a friend interested in it, I'd definitely show it to them and be like, hey, look, this is what we're doing, and it's making our lives a lot easier. It'll probably make your life a lot easier, save you a bunch of time, because you can't get bogged down in paperwork if you're not doing it electronically.
True. All right.
You're probably going to save a ton of money on paper too, because you won't have to print everything out.
Well, probably on mistakes and stuff like that as well, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Ricky, thanks for your time and your honest opinion.